So we're going to talk about hip fallouts in capsular cars. These are two big things for hip health because we never really abduct or bring the leg out very often, and we hardly rotate in daily life. So for the hip fallouts, we're going to start in this hook lying position, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, low back gently pressing into the floor. I'm going to show you two different versions. The first one's going to be easier, second one's a little more challenging. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the leg up to that dead bug position, but only with one leg. From here, we're going to get a little bit of a brace, continue breathing as you should be, and we're just going to let this leg fall out to the side, and then bring it back. Fall out to the side, and bring it back. The one thing I want you to pay attention to is making sure the pelvis does not move at all. So what you'll see with a lot of people is they bring this leg out, but the pelvis also follows. So now I know we're not getting motion just through the hip, we're getting motion through the low back and even up into the mid back. Leg stays here, pelvis stuck into the ground, and let the leg fall out to the side. The abs should be working pretty hard because it's maintaining this position for the rib cage and pelvis as we move the hip independent. Second stage, or the next progression, would be both legs up in the air, feet just above the knees, knees shoulder width apart. Again, get a decent breath, a little bit of a brace, and let that leg fall out. Now that we don't have the other leg supporting us like we did in that earlier exercise, the pelvis, you need good breathing and bracing to maintain this pelvis position as you drop out to the side. Don't let it drag you over to roll. So that's the hip fallout, the two different exercises I use. The next one is Capsular Cars. So this is all about helping joint awareness in rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that same cars that we did in the previous video, but we're going to stop with the leg abducted or brought out as far as possible. I don't want you leaning back to get extra range of motion. Hips or pelvis should stay stacked on top of each other. Shoulders should stay stacked on top of each other. We're just going to bring that leg out. From here, this leg, the upper leg, does not move. Kneecap stays in the same spot. And we're going to bring our foot behind us and foot in front. Foot behind, foot in front. You should feel this deep into the hip joint. So we're going after the capsule, which is the ligaments and around the hip joint itself, bringing some awareness to how we use it for rotation. This is super important because the first thing that people usually lose when it comes to mobility is that rotational component. So being able to learn how to use it and then also maintain it is a huge factor for healthy hips.